I'm following in Sue Masterson's footsteps from yesterday and jumping outside of my comfort zone, and I always make sure daily that I make myself do uncomfortable things because growth only happens in discomfort. However, this is extremely uncomfortable for me because I'm sitting in my daughter's car park of our school, and there's cars parked very closely either side of me, and I'm very self-conscious for the first time in a long time about doing a live stream, and I happen to know both of the people that are sitting in the cars either side of me. So this is the story. When I get a moment of inspiration, which is generally at awkward times like this, and I feel like I need to share it because somebody needs to hear what it is that falls into my head. So this is the story. I was driving, and when you're driving you do a lot of thinking. I was thinking about people who feel isolated and lonely. And then I was thinking back to a time when I felt isolated and lonely. And what I did back then was I surrounded myself with substandard people who were not my cup of tea if I had been in my right mind. But I wasn't in my right mind because I was lonely and I was sad and I felt isolated. And I was thinking about one particular situation, right? I was in a situation where I wanted to be accepted and I wasn't. So I was trying to put a square peg into a round hole. And when you're trying and fighting hard to be accepted, that's not a natural progression of how any community or relationship should be forged. So if I had have been in my right mind, I would have stepped back from the situation and asked myself the question if I was confident enough and self-assured enough at the time, which I was not. I absolutely was not. Are these people my cup of tea? Do I like them? Do we have similar interests? Are their value system the same as mine? And if they are, it won't, I know now, if they are these people, if they are my tribe, it's not going to feel forced. It's going to feel natural. It's going to feel organic. It's going to feel like you are full up. It's going to feel like you belong straight away, because that's what happens in tribes and people who are your cheerleaders. You just slip and fit right in. If you haven't seen somebody who's a really good friend of yours for a long time, and it's like when you hook up, it's like you saw them yesterday. You just slip back into the way things used to be. That's how you know that these people are your people. It shouldn't feel awkward and it shouldn't feel forced. So when you're desperate, you do desperate things. Desperate people do desperate things. And when we're feeling low, we make bad decisions. And then we feel even more isolated. So I don't even know what the purpose behind what it is that I'm saying. I just know that somebody who's watching this needs to hear it. Okay? Thanks ever so much for all the love coming across the screen. That's gorgeous. So that's the story, lads. I hope. Is that the lovely Sarah Carley there watching me? That's a lovely profiler, Sarah. Hazel Peters it is. Excuse me, you look very like a friend of mine. Hi, Antoinette. So I hope that is useful to you. And know that when it doesn't feel right, it isn't right. Okay? Step back, put space and time between you and the people that you're assessing, and ask yourself the question, are these people my cup of tea? Not, I hope I fit in here. We need to be critical in the spaces that we're in and the company that we keep. Critical for our own physical and mental well-being. Other people don't get to decide the quality of our experiences. If we try and say, are these people my cup of tea? Those people are then setting the standard for your experiences and your life and, what's happening to you. No, hell no. You get to decide that. You take your power back and you decide whether they're your cup of tea. Okay? Now, Maeve Edwards, yes, Nicola, needed this. Emma Osborne, I needed this. Siobhan Kenny Valentine, hi Nick, great vid, needed to hear this just on time. I mean, seriously, when stuff falls into me head, I'm just going to start recording and let it fall out of me mouth. Amy Kelly, love this. I know I've picked a good tribe. I'm delighted for you, Amy. Tracy Maria Hayes, very useful, Nicola. Been struggling with that particular situation lately, and you just gave me the answer. Amen, sister. Tracy Maria Hayes, thanks. You are so welcome. Okay, I'm going to go back to doing more of these impromptu live streams because clearly they work and clearly they're needed. And as well as that, if I didn't let that information out of me, I would feel uneasy. That's when you're creative, let it out. Okay? When you have a moment of creativity, share it, write it down, record it, make the phone call, whatever it is you need to do, get it out of you. Because that's when you start feeling stuck, people. Okay? And we don't want any more of the stuckness. Catherine McLaughlin, thank you. Joanne Lavelle, you're 100% spot on. Thank you so much, Joanne. Cherry Thunder, love it. Okay, guys, I have to go and do some negotiating here with a bus driver. So I'm going to go and do that. Have an absolutely fantastic Wednesday and enjoy the sunshine. It's beautiful here. Olivia Delaney, great video, Nicola. Thank you, darling. Carol Deegan, brilliant advice, Nicola. Thanks, girls and guys. There's millions of you watching there. There's 31. Take it easy and I'll see you tomorrow. If I have any more info that comes in, it'll come out. Slán.